After talking with some students about the hypersensitive response, I realized that there was some confusion about some of the pictures I showed in lecture versus one of the pictures that was on the problem set. And I think the confusion mostly stems from the fact that these two pictures look kind of alike, right? We have a plant up at the top there that has a large dead region, and then we have this apple that looks like it's kind of rotting. But the important thing is there's really different stuff going on in these two pictures. And even though they look sort of similar, it's important to understand the different biology that's happening here. So in that leaf at the top right, it's showing the hypersensitive response. It was infected by a pathogen, and the cells of that leaf quickly identified the pathogen and underwent cell death. And as a result, the pathogen was contained and was not able to spread. Whereas the apple down at the bottom in picture B is not showing the hypersensitive response. And it is really being kind of overwhelmed by that pathogen. We're just seeing it at a point before the entire apple has rotted away. Now, if you look at the apple in picture A, that's the one that is showing the hypersensitive response. You see those small dead spots on the apple. Those are places where the pathogen landed on that apple, was recognized by the cells, and induced that localized cell death. So that's the apple that's going to do better in the response to this pathogen. I think one of the things that's very confusing about this is this first picture of the leaf up here where I say that there is no hypersensitive response. That leaf looks pretty good at this point. But what I wish I could show you is the picture of this leaf maybe 24 or 48 hours later when it's going to be completely dead and completely rotten. So I decided to try and find a better picture to represent these that might be helpful for you. So we're going to compare two little plants here, one of which is going to show the hypersensitive response in response to a pathogen, and the one at the bottom is not going to show the hypersensitive response. So we're going to take these two leaves, we're going to infect them with a pathogen, expose them to a bacteria or fungus. Now up at the top, this is 4 days post-infection. DPI is days post-infection. And we can see that there are these little dead spots now forming on this leaf, and that's because the plant has recognized the presence of the pathogen and the hypersensitive response has initiated. Whereas down at the bottom here, what we see is the leaf is starting to wilt. We see this large spreading dead area here. Now, if we continue this on 6 days after the infection, not much has changed with the leaf up at the top that shows the hypersensitive response. But you can see that in the plant without the hypersensitive response, that pathogen has spread throughout the leaf and is now spreading to the rest of the plant. And by 8 days, that plant's totally dead, whereas the plant up here at the top, showing the hypersensitive response, is able to survive and be resistant to that pathogen.